These are the internet's most favorite no effing way stories. For today, we're going to read the most no effing way stories.
No effing way? That's what we get to do?
Yes, it is. And here's the first one from Hella Medal 2061. They say, I was deployed in Iraq and was out on a convoy on December 31st, 2007. Long story short, I unknowingly pissed on an IED, which exploded 30 seconds after I walked away.
Wait, what is an IED?
So you put it in your arm,
Oh.
and it helps you not get pregnant.
No.
IED is an improvised explosive device. This was on my birthday. Now I'm gonna contemplate peeing outside now.
At least it exploded while you walked away and pants were already zipped up, I'm assuming. Right?
30 seconds in, yeah. So, MEVP says, my friend John is a paramedic and a firefighter. He also teaches and certifies first aid and CPR. Now, for those who don't know, CPR is not very effective.
Like, you could break you or something like that if you do it wrong. I'm pretty sure.
It has a very low success rate unless initiated soon after an incident, which is why everyone should learn CPR. Even after revival, many people have serious health effects. One day, John gets into a pretty bad car accident and goes into cardiac arrest. The paramedics and police are dispatched. The officer first on scene knows CPR and initiates chest compressions on John. John is revived, and although suffered severe memory loss, is well. The kicker? John taught the officer CPR the week prior to the incident?
Whoa. And the officer did CPR on
On
John?
him.
Wow. John literally just saved his life. His own life. He said, in a week, this is going to be important. Can't tell you how, but it is.
You're going to have to know these steps.
Yeah.
Savannah, do you know how to do CPR?
I do, actually. I learned at an airport.
And an airport.
Cleveland Airport has a little CPR thing where you can learn. I mean, it's not like I'm certified, but like I learned how to do it.
I mean, I've seen people explain it before. I think I was CPR certified like at one point when I was younger.
Yeah, same. When I was a shallow depth certified lifeguard, I could only save people if it was 5 feet or above.
Is that because you can't swim?
No, I can swim, but that was the only certificate they could give me.
It's funny because I've never seen you swim. Because I've never actually seen it happen.
Really?
Ever.
You never see me swim.
I've never seen you swim.
I'm about to blow your mind right quick. You ready?
Do a lap right now.
Bali.
That is true. We went into the ocean in Bali. I've seen you swim. Just trying to tell everyone else lies.
You're wrong. Glad dude paid attention. Yeah, me too. And Mr. Belton says, please don't tell people CPR is not effective. That's what this person said. I didn't say that.
I mean, it's worth a shot, right? Because if you don't do CPR, person's going down either way. So, give it a shot, guys. But also, I'm not a paramedic. But, Serland Sippity says, here's mine. I was walking my older dog one night around 10 p.m. I had him off leash since it was late and we were in a neighborhood. No one to bother. I kept track of him for poo duty as he sniffed around and we were approaching an intersection. The house we were walking along was 20 feet from the sidewalk, which was where I was, and was edged by very large juniper bushes, which he was checking out. Suddenly, he stopped and dove into a bush.
Oh.
This was odd considering he was nearing 10 years old, and although he's active, he's not crazy like that. No, this is a lab husky mutt for reference.
Got it. He probably went after like a squirrel or a snake.
That's what I would think. Out of the bush comes some sort of snarl/scream, and all I could think of was, crap, he got a raccoon.
Not Rocket.
And out leaps an immature mountain lion, at least 20% larger than my dog.
Oh.
It runs off down the road, and I stand there terrified, yelling, no effing way, as he comes back to me, wagging his butt like he's the greatest dog ever, which is very likely considering that cat was much bigger than me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that is insane.
A mountain lion?
A mountain lion. Good thing he won that whole interchange or that interaction. The mountain lion was running down the street.
Have you ever seen a mountain lion?
No. I haven't. Well, I mean, I've seen pictures, but not
Okay.
like in.
Sure.
Well, I guess no, like at like zoos and stuff. I guess I've seen it.
Yeah,
There you go.
there are so many mountain lion videos online
Yeah.
of people that see mountain lion at their car, and then they're like, "Oh my god, it's
Yeah.
effing mountain lion!"
Yeah.
They come out of nowhere, dude.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of mountain lions like near me, and we don't see them, but at like certain neighborhoods, it's like, yeah, you got to be on watch. And there was like one area that I was going to, I was like with some friends at night, and we were just going to go like hammock, but the sun was going down like a lot faster than we thought. And we were like seeing multiple signs being like, mountain lion area. They have no signs of attack beforehand. So, you know, it's just going to surprise you. So we got really scared and just ran back. But yeah, they're scary. But someone responds, "It's a wonder your dog didn't walk back to you. Stand on his hind legs, take out a cig, light it, take a long drag, exhale, and say, 'Seriously, what's it going to take for you to effing believe me for once?'" What? And that's all we got. If your dog can do that, I'd believe he could speak English. He's just not telling you. He's just keeping it a secret.
All animals can speak English, no other language.
I think.
No other language.
Well, what about the German Shepherds
Mm.
or the Australian Shepherds? What do they speak?
English, but
But in a funny way.
I remember going to Sweden and thinking those birds can speak Swedish. Anyone else?
See, that's a joke. A one-liner
Yeah.
right there.
I think it could be better, but I appreciate that.
We'll workshop it.
Yeah. Jay Cakes says, "I've already told this one, but here it is again. My former English teacher went camping with his friends. They were riding on a bus, and he decides to take a nap. When he woke up, there was a Coca-Cola can floating in the air. So he reaches out to grab it, and when he comes to a little bit, his friends are freaking the F out. Why? Because his friend dropped his soda can, and my English teacher woke up and caught it." That's cool. So he woke up at the perfect time. It wasn't just hovering in the air. It was falling on him. And he caught it just in time.
You know what this reminds me of?
What?
Think of another person that was sleeping and did something at the right time.
I feel like this
Come
sounds
on.
familiar, but I cannot think of.
Remember that guy that talked about his uncle at the party?
Just tell the story.
Dude,
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Yeah.
so we went to a friend's party and we're talking to this guy. And we're like, "Hey, how did you get your name?" He's like, "I got it from my uncle. He served in Vietnam." "Oh, really?" He's like, "Yeah. You want to hear some stories?"
Well, he doesn't say it all creepy like that, but yeah.
That's kind of how it comes across. We're like, "Sure, yeah, whatever." Yeah, one day he was sleeping. And he was sleeping like watching over this hill, and he was like at this like one like machine. He was sleeping there. Then out in the middle of the night, he just woke up and went with the knife. And he looks up, and he got a soldier right through the neck.
Yeah. That was like creeping up on him in one of the trees. And then he like wakes up. I think his eyes were still closed when he did that. He just
Yeah, his
felt
eyes were
something
still
and then just
closed.
went "Poof," and gets this guy.
And then bro just proceeds to tell us 10 more stories just like this.
Well, but then in that story, he woke up and he saw
Oh,
down the hill there were like tons of other people that were going to ambush them.
mhm.
And so he basically like saved a bunch of people because he woke up just in time. I don't know if we're technically allowed to even tell that story. Sorry, my guy, if that was
Well, he told us
supposed
at
to
a
be
party,
private.
so
but
whatever.
I feel
but
like it's all fair game.
yeah.
It's
Thank
pre-
you. That's
pretty
what I'm
freaking cool.
thinking.
pretty freaking cool. So yeah, your English teacher is very cool. That was great. Giblet84 says, "Flying 1,100 miles for an interview. I hear someone across the aisle yell my name. I'm thinking, that voice sounds familiar. Turns out it was one of my good friends from college. I'm thinking, no effing way. He got an interview the same time I did, and we stayed next door at the same hotel the night before the interview. And now we're housemates. Both got the job. The end." Wow, that's a coincidence right there.
Match made in heaven.
Yeah, how
Holy cow.
sweet.
That's
Are
cute.
Do
I
you
love it.
guys kiss at all? Have you ever?
Do you wanna?
It sounds like they want to.
But there is another one. Wrestler 145 says, "One winter, I went sledding down a popular hill in my hometown with my brother and his wife. At the bottom of the hill, there's a frozen pond. That sounds a crazy ride. My sister-in-law hopped on the back of my sled, sitting backwards, and we went down together. Due to the extra mass, we started going way faster than I expected. When I noticed we were heading right towards a little kid.
Oh no. It's a canon event for every kid. My
Is
shoulders messed up because I got hit whenever someone was sledding.
No way.
My left
Really?
shoulder, yeah. You know, have you ever felt
mean,
it sometimes?
Cracks sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's why?
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
My cousin hit me on the way down.
Oh boy. I just couldn't maneuver out of the way, so I leaned forward and scooped the kid up, holding him up like Simba. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, what? On the way down?
On the way down,
God.
he couldn't stop and get out of the way, so he just picks him up and holds him in the air while they're going down this hill. That's amazing.
Oh, wow.
That's so great. Then I realized we were still about to sled into a frozen pond, so I bailed out and held the kid as high over my head as I could. I stood up, set the kid down, and looked around for his parents. When I saw a big dude coming at me, I was like, oh crap, here we go. Then he got closer, and I realized it was one of my closest friends. And that kid that I ran into was his son, who I babysit regularly.
Oh, nice.
I thought to myself, no effing way, and gave him a big hug. The kid said that he thought it was awesome. And someone responds, what happened to the sister-in-law? Did she go into the pond? That's a great question.
Yeah, what happened to that shed?
Opie says, I think the sled flipped after I jumped off with all the weight in the back. Thankfully, she didn't go into the pond. That would have been rough.
Dude.
And that's the end of that one.
Epic.
Oh my gosh. That is awesome. Are you kidding me?
The amount of things that have happened to me in my life that I wish other people would have seen. I'd have so many stories just like this.
Yeah. I'm just imagining being that kid, just like standing there being like, wow, what a fun snow day. Look at that snow angel I just made. Wow, this is so cool. And then all of a sudden being like hoisted into the air and flying forward at full speed. I mean,
Do it again.
just like, whoa, like that sounds crazy.
Did you not get hit by a sled?
No, my brother would always just like throw snowballs at me.
No.
He was very good at that. Yeah, no, I have great reflexes.
Did you play softball?
Yeah, my mom coached it.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah, my mom coached softball. She was my coach. I was doing it, and I remember I would get really competitive, and I told my mom, if I'm not the pitcher, I'm not doing it. And she was like, whatever. And so she put me as a pitcher. Then after I would not be good, I would walk like 3 people. She'd be like, okay. And then at least I would be happy. And then the one day I was like, you know what? I'm not playing if I'm not third base. And she's like,
Oh my gosh.
what is wrong with you?
You're just like, well, I know what I want and know how to get my way.
If we lost, I wouldn't go and shake the people's hands.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I would not shake like the people's hands, like afterwards when it's like, oh, good game, good game.
Yeah.
If we lost, no, and my mom, I would get in so much trouble.
That's funny.
That is funny. Oh my goodness. We have another one here from Deleted. My roommate had a huge fish tank with 4 chichlids in it.
What is that? What is chid?
Chichlids are fish.
Okay, so
I had chichlids.
But I guess what we're
are
asking.
they? What do they look like?
Oh,
I could assume that
Oh.
is what was in the fish tank. It was a fish.
Oh.
But
See, that's something I would say to pull someone's leg, but you were being for real.
to be completely honest, all I heard was 4 chichlids. And I was like, oh, fish. I didn't even hear the first part of
I
it.
see.
So I was like, oh, they're fish.
Nice.
That's
Well,
why my answer was that way.
Got it. Also, Duchess Cassandra says cichlids. They're called cichlids.
Yes, cichlids.
Oh,
Cichlids.
really?
That
I
sounds
always said
interesting.
chichlids.
That's funny.
This is what it looked like, guys.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Can
Thank you.
see it?
So roommate had a fish tank with 4 of those things in it. 4 cichlids. One of them, the pink one, was really effing mean and used to pick on the other ones. I hated him.
I had one like that.
Yeah. One night, I had a dream that I caught him with a net, threw him in a pan with some butter, fried him up, and ate him. I really hope this was just a dream. The next morning, I walked by the fish tank, looked in to discover the pink one was gone.
Oh, no.
I freaked out and looked all over the tank for him. He's nowhere to be found. When my roommate got home from work, I told him about my dream and that the pink cichlid is missing. He looked at me, visibly shaken, and said, dude, I'm going to start locking my bedroom door at night. Days and weeks go by. I am truly disturbed that I am capable of sleep eating my roommate's pets.
Stop. No.
Finally, I am so overcome with anxiety that I decide to scour the tank CSI style, looking for clues. I pressed my face against every square inch of the tank, desperate to salvage a shred of sanity. After what must have been at least an hour, something tiny catches my eye under a large piece of coral in the back corner.
Okay.
I reached in and pulled out the coral, only to discover the bones of the pink cichlid. It had been wedged between the rocks and the coral on the bottom of the tank.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Somehow the other 3 cichlids had attacked the pink one and telepathically framed me for it. Oh my gosh. Not only did they frame me, but they got me to confess. Oh my gosh.
So we didn't leave the tank. That's good.
Didn't leave the tank.
See, if you were sleep eating, I was gonna be like, well, go check the kitchen sink. Is there a pan in there or something?
Right? I'm like, are there bones in the trash can? I hope you didn't eat the bones. I hope you didn't eat it at all.
Did you poop any bones?
Yeah, you feeling a little pokey inside? Anything poking your insides?
You poop any bones?
Well, talk about dreams. Dude, someone randomly asked me, why do you think we have dreams?
Yeah. What's your answer?
I don't know.
And you don't
It's your-
think that's an interesting conversation to have?
I mean, it was at the time, but I was just like, oh, yeah, wow. But
Okay.
I feel like it's the subconscious and the consciousness trying to make sense of this reality.
It's possible. It is interesting how sometimes people do dream about things like this, where it's like there's no way they would have known that.
Yeah.
Or things that happen in the future. It's like,
Dude, I always have, like, I always get deja vu. I have dreams about things that happen, random things. It could be like months. Like, I'll like have like a dream and then like it'll be just random. And then like one day it'll happen. I'm like, oh, deja vu. That
whoa.
always happens to me.
But you know that it's from a past dream that you've had?
No.
Or
No,
oh.
it's not. No, it's like things that haven't happened yet. And then they happen. And I'm like, oh, like I knew that was going to happen.
She's Raven.
Oh, wow.
And it's just random things. Like it'll just be like, I remember like picking up my phone and like seeing this specific notification or something and be like,
Oh,
oh, I got
wow.
an email from this person, or like, oh, this person said something and I looked this way. But then like I
Yeah.
always try to like play with it and be like, oh, in the dream, if I know that it's going to be like, you know, a premonition, whatever, I will try to be like, oh, and after I'm going to do this to like mess it up, to be like, oh, I know what I'm
like
doing.
trying to
Can't
control it.
escape fate.
It's true. We have another story here. Red is one bird says, when I was 17, I worked for an excavation/demolition company for the summer. We were gutting an old mill in New Hampshire to turn into high-end lofts. One of the workers was standing on the top of some scaffold about 12 to 15 feet up using a handheld band saw to cut through a large pipe. As he was cutting, a strap supporting the pipe broke, letting it drop down and pinch the blade. This made the saw shoot back towards him and push him off the scaffolding.
Oh my gosh.
This guy did a complete effing backflip while holding a working saw from over 10 feet up. He landed on his feet, saw still running. Everyone stopped and stared at him for about 5 seconds before we went back to work.
Whoa, you can't just go back to work like that.
That's crazy, dude.
I'd be like, oh, what just happened here?
yeah.
Oh, that was epic.
That'd be like in the cartoons where they're like, I have everything's okay, you know?
And then
after
the
he
nose
lands.
falls off.
Oh, yeah. Is that right?
I would have been like, no one got that on video. No
Right.
one.
We
No
got
one.
any access to these security cameras around?
I would be going for it. I just had a sad thought.
Oh, God.
We hear a lot about these no effing way stories.
Yeah.
How many stories was it effing way?
yeah.
Like
Were
where
these
this did
things-
happen
Yeah.
and he didn't land the back flip.
right. I'm sure there's much more of those in the world. Yikes, man. For sure. Super 901 says, so I'm spending the summer in Nantucket. Friends of mine introduced me to a guy named Robbie. He and I hit it off. It's like instant bro love.
I know what that's like.
We spend days kicking it, smoking bowls and philosophizing. Then he leaves and we lose touch. Years go by. I'm on a subway in New York. This guy I sort of recognize is on the same car. He comes over to say hi, but it's my stop, so I get off. The instant the doors close, I remember who he is. It's Robbie. Crap. The subway pulls away and he's gone. Wow, cue Chaparral song, She Got Away.
Dang.
Years go by. I'm living in LA, and it's my friend Leslie's birthday at some club down in Pico. We pull up to the front door. I hop out, and a guy smoking a cig outside says, "Hey, you!" And it is gosh dang Robbie.
No way.
We've been best friends ever since. He was the best man at my wedding. There you go.
Dang.
That's crazy, dude. Oh.
This is what like love stories are about.
Yeah, but bro love. It doesn't
Bruv.
have to be love. It could be bro love. That's so sweet.
But if it's bro love, you can also make love too sometimes.
If you want to. But if you don't want to, that's cool too. We'll allow it.
We got that kind of bro love.
Where we don't make love.
No. No, like this kind of love that this guy has with his
Where
bro.
it's- yeah, so that's just...
You know what? Whatever. What?
I just don't want you to share details like that about our love life. That's all. And you know what? I would never tell him this to his face, but I think Riley's very funny. All right.
I wouldn't tell him either.
I would never tell him.
Don't give him that edge.
Don't tell him that, guys. He is really funny. And I wasn't going to tell him that his jokes last night were bad, but he just kept telling them. And so I had to.
Someone has to tell him.
I had to tell him.
I think you were the brave one to do
I
that.
had to do it. And now he's gone. We have more stories, but Riley's freaking gone. Riley! Come back! How are you, Riley? Where'd you go?
I'm great now.
I do think you're funny. I just was unsure about how to continue that conversation.
I had to
I
get
didn't-
water.
I didn't want you to share too many details about us.
I'm ready for the next story.
All right. Safferson says, my girlfriend and I were traveling in Italy and met this nice Australian girl on the train from Rome to Naples. We chatted a bit and learned that she had just left her friend in North Africa to start traveling on her own. Fast forward 2 weeks, and my girlfriend and I are now on a bus from Brasov, Romania to Bucharest, and I'm butchering that pronunciation. And we ended up randomly meeting the Australian girl's friend that was left in North Africa.
Holy cow.
Wow, that is actually pretty crazy.
It's cute. And then you're like, oh my gosh, your friend.
Yeah, I love meeting random people in traveling. That's like the best. And if you meet someone and then get a full circle moment like that, I mean, that's pretty crazy.
Dude, meeting people while traveling is the best. If you ever go traveling, you got to stay in hostels. Don't stay in hotels. Hostels is where you meet the people.
Meet the people, man. Saint Lunatic 15 says, a while ago, my dad and I had a driver pick us up from San Francisco Airport to drive us home. Since there was a lot of traffic, we had a bunch of time to talk and shoot the crap. Turned out that the driver's daughter was the fiance of my dad's nephew, my cousin,
Oh.
who both live in Cleveland. We attended the wedding a few months later and again reconnected with the driver while there. Oh, wow, that's cool. We started talking some more, and then he introduced us to his wife. Apparently, her and my dad went to the same high school, graduated the same year, and even dated for a few months? What?
The driver?
The driver's wife.
That's crazy.
The driver's wife dated the dad.
Dude, soon you're going to realize the driver's your grandfather.
Oh my God. It's just going to keep going. This was in a very small suburban town outside of Cleveland. Small world indeed.
I was
Yeah.
recently at an airport coming back from California and North Carolina, and I stopped in Nashville for a little bit. While I was there, I see someone from my college.
In Nashville?
Yeah. And
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, Stewie?
Yeah.
And he's like, Mac? That's what I went by in college.
Yeah.
And we were like, I was like, yo, what are you doing? He's like, I'm about to board a plane. What are you doing? I'm like, I'm just come back from LA. He's like, you're in LA? And I'm like, yeah. We
Oh
like
my gosh.
caught up a little bit. We were strictly acquaintances, but
Yeah, but still.
that's kind of cool.
That is super cool. There was one time I went to Utah and I had like a layover in Vegas or something, or in Nevada somewhere. And then I didn't know it was him, but I saw like one of my coworkers at the time there. And then like later when we were at work, we were like, hey, by the way, were you there? And he was like on his bachelor trip or something like that. Things like that are very funny. Yeah, we were on the same flight too, but it's nice. But anyway, we've got more stories here. BioDigital says, when I was 16, my mom took me to NYC for my birthday. We left on a Wednesday and were flying back Saturday afternoon so I could go to school on Monday and my mom could watch my baby sister while my stepdad went back to work. On Saturday, we get on the plane, it rolls out of the tarmac, and we sit there for approximately 4 hours without
What?
moving
On the tarmac?
and without explanation. Yeah,
4 hours?
4 hours.
I get
no
maybe an
explanation.
hour.
The plane then took us back to the gate and said that they had some protocol that prevented them from keeping us on the tarmac any longer, and the flight was canceled. Well, my mom and I were freaked out, to say the least, as it was pretty imperative that we get home as soon as possible. My poor stepdad is not very self-reliant. All the passengers rushed off the plane and got in a line to figure out alternatives, and my mom and I start witching about our situation.
Yeah, those are the worst. I don't like those. Where your flight gets canceled and you have to like find alternatives, and it's like it's all day thing.
Yeah, they were already on the plane for 4 hours. They could have figured out an alternative 4 hours ago. That's insane. We mentioned my baby sister, who has Down syndrome, and the lady behind us in line butts in and says that she has a brother with mental restrictions as well. This leads to us chatting in a line and talking about what BS that airline was. After a while, the woman who was with 2 friends and her niece nonchalantly mentions that she has a private jet and was only flying home on that airline to use up frequent flyer miles. She says that she sympathizes with our situation, and how would we like to fly home on her private jet early the next morning?
Stop it, no. What?
My mom and I could not even believe. The lady proceeds to pay for us to stay in a nice hotel that night, takes us out to dinner and buys us steaks, and flies us home on her private jet the next morning. And that is one of the best things that has ever happened to me.
Dude, if I had money, I would be doing stuff like this all the time.
Oh my gosh.
That is so awesome.
That is crazy.
I don't even know what a private jet looks like.
Yeah,
My
I'm
mom
sure you do.
or my mom's best friend is a billionaire and has a private jet.
Have you ever been
billionaire?
on one? Have you ever been on one?
I have not, but my mom goes all the time because she
Wow.
owns like a whole thing down in Key West.
That's awesome.
Yeah, her house is crazy. So cool though.
We will get back to more stories as soon as Riley sits his booty down.
All right, let's hit it. Smoothie says, my no effing way story is a more lighthearted one. My fiance, now husband, and I had talked about getting a pet. Growing up, I only had cats. As an adult, I'm highly allergic to them, so we decided a dog would be best. I had no idea if I would even like having a dog since I never even played with one. I read up on caring for dogs and was super stoked that our town was going to have an annual pet expo soon.
Oh, nice. That's perfect timing.
Oh, we went to it, hoping to get some info about breeds, adoption, supplies, etc. The expo turned out to be pretty much unhelpful, as most of the vendors were selling dog clothes and treats. As we were leaving, I noticed that there was a couple of booths on the outskirts of the expo that we missed. As we walked towards them, I saw that one had a couple of brownish dogs. The smaller of the two really caught my eye. He was just the most perfect puppy I had ever seen. He was brindled, and his fur looked like a brown tiger pelt. Long, graceful legs, and a big ruff, and sharp face and ears like a fox's. His big brown eyes were full of intelligence. I talked to the woman running the booth and found out that they were a non-profit rescue organization run solely by volunteers. She informed us that only the larger of the two dogs were available for adoption. I pet the little guy for a bit and left. I found myself thinking about him a lot over the next few weeks. I hoped I would be able to find one like him when we were ready to adopt. I spent the next few months preparing to get a dog, renegotiating the lease to allow for a pet, getting supplies, researching foods, reading up on healthcare and first aid. Finally, we were ready to adopt a dog. We went to the Humane Society and struck out week after week. I could not find a good match. None of the dogs felt like they would fit in our little family. One day, yet again after another disappointing day at the Humane Society, I was half-heartedly browsing Craigslist pet ads when I saw that there was an adoption event a few towns away. We went, expecting to be disappointed. Sure enough, the dogs at the event were not much better. Too energetic, too small, too big, too loud. I gave up, starting walking back to the car, when a white van pulled up into the parking lot.
Scary? Hey, not scary. Is some man gonna say, hey, you wanna come look at the dogs?
Hey, I got dogs and candy in the back.
Got puppies. You like puppies, right?
My husband said we should stick around just in case the van was bringing more dogs. Sure enough, the driver got out and let out a single little brown dog. I immediately started walking towards the van, parked about 100 feet away. My heart knew well before my brain could register that I recognized that dog. As I walked faster and faster to the van, I remembered where I had seen him before. I shouted to my husband, "It's him! It's my dog!"
Aww.
It turns out that he was the dog from the expo and the last of his litter to find a home.
Aww.
Stop, that gave me chills.
No one else wanted him because he was shy and looked unusual. I thought he was beautiful. Within an hour, he was buckled up in the back seat in his doggy seatbelt on his way to his new home.
Oh, it's so cute.
Stop it. Thanks for everyone who read through the wall of text. A few people here asked for pics. Here he is. No! There he is.
Oh.
Okay, cute. I love
Look
the
at
color.
him.
You wouldn't want that.
Look at him.
He's so handsome.
My goodness, and his little patch on his frigging chest.
Oh, is that him bundled up in a blanket? I can't wait till I get to the spot to get my own pet. But then I think about that and I'm like, maybe I should just enjoy the dogs that are in my home. I just keep imagining like moving out and like getting my own cat and stuff and how that's going to be an amazing day when I can do that. But until then, I stay in my parents' home and I enjoy the dogs that we have there.
Yay, they're good dogs.
I love them and
Enjoy
they
the
are
dogs.
getting old. So I got to soak up as much as I can. The next story
Oh.
is from, wow, that's a big duck. This person says.
Wait, you read that wrong.
No, I read it totally right. That's exactly what it says.
I don't
Wow,
think
that's a
what it
big
says.
duck. Back in 2006, my brother and I were in Berlin just decking around
Ducking around.
when these two Russian girls asked us a question in Russian. Confused, we replied in English, nothing. Then they asked in German, and it turns out they just wanted someone to take their picture. We oblige, then get talking and hang out for the rest of the day. After dinner, we say goodbye and part ways. Fast forward to 2010. I'm using Live Mocha to learn Russian, and out of boredom, I click the link to review English submissions. I find one of a girl practicing ordering food in a restaurant. I see the display picture and think, this girl's hot. Click her profile, and I'm like, okay, this girl looks really effing familiar. Sent her a message, and we start exchanging this and that, and wouldn't you know it, it's the same effing girl from Berlin.
Whoa.
We got together over the summer in Holland, and I think she's the one. Oh, how sweet.
That's so lovely.
You guys
And-
are in love.
Riley loves those stories.
And you're 20. I don't think it's going to last forever.
They're not 20.
Yeah, they are. Look at this user profile name.
I mean,
Come on.
I'm sure there's some 50-year-olds out there that are using usernames like that.
How would you
Some
know that?
Irish ones. I don't know. For all we know, could be a woman.
Anyways.
Either way, happy for you guys. We do have another story from Good Old Bess says, so a good friend of mine is in an airport in Canada in a bookshop waiting to get the flight back to the UK with his family, about 7/8 at a time. Anyway, across the bookshop is Ian McKellen, who of course plays Gandalf. And my friend and his brother really loved Lord of the Rings at the time. They go over to him, and he looks over, realizes that they might have recognized him, and right then and there does an impromptu rendition of the Bridge of Khazad dumb scene. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say
Stop.
it.
No freaking way.
Complete with, "You shall not pass," right in the middle of a crowded airport. He then gives them autographs. How's that for a no effing way? That's pretty freaking good. What a good sport. The fact that he was like all in for it too, because I know some people when they get recognized they're like, no, don't make me say the line, like that's so a little weird.
Get the roar.
He just straight up did it.
Dude, I could die after that.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. Have you ever seen Lord of the Rings?
Me. Have I ever seen Lord of the Rings?
Yeah,
Yes, I have.
you have.
I love Lord of the Rings.
Really?
And the hot.
No, I like actually didn't know that.
I don't even know who you are. I think you're losing memory now.
Listen, we can learn about each other still.
I don't
We've only
know.
been together for 2 years. You know how many more we've got left? It's gonna be so
I
boring
don't
if we
know.
knew everything.
We should know this though. I also
Okay,
like
well, now
Star
I know.
Wars.
Okay, I knew that one.
You know that one, but not Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, we dressed up as Star Wars characters like 2 years in a row. We've got stories to read, mister.
I'm not reading them. It's you.
I just assume every man likes Lord of the Rings.
Anyways, we've got more stories here. Deleted says, my sister was driving down the street at 45 miles an hour with her windows open and a deer ran into the street.
Oh.
Gosh. Instead of hitting this deer, the deer jumped into her car through the window, landed with its head in the foot part of the passenger side seat and its butt on the headrest. The deer was freaked the F out and with its butt in the air, proceeded to crap all over the car. She obviously pulled over. Several people stopped to help and asked her where the deer was. She just stood there screaming, "It's in the car! It's in the car!" And a helpful man opened the door, pulled the deer out, and the deer bounded off like nothing happened. For imagery, she was driving a late 90s Ford Escort at the time. No one believes this story, but it is 100% true. Can we see what that car looks like? Can we figure that out?
A Ford Escort. That's what it looks like.
Oh, it's one of those little guys.
Yeah.
So it went
Gosh.
through the window.
Yep. And hung in there. I believe
The
this
windows
story.
were down. I believe it too.
That,
But that's still crazy.
yeah, you and that deer were like
Ah! Yeah.
staring at each other, screaming at each
Deer
other.
scared, saying, "Where am I? What is this place?"
The deer is literally pooping itself.
Yeah.
That is
That's
true.
insane.
I almost hit a deer once. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Deer like to go at really bright lights for some reason.
Like a little moth to a flame.
Yeah.
Another story from BioDigital. Oh, this is another story from the same person. My family goes on an annual trip to Disneyland around January and February. In our 2011 trip, we had had a rough evening for various reasons, and I was in a pretty sour mood, which really sucks when you're at Disneyland.
Dang.
This makes me want to go to Disneyland now.
Good for you.
So my family and I trudged to this restaurant by our hotel so we can get some food right before they close. The place is super empty, and we all look ridiculous with our grumpy faces and decked out Disney pin lanyards, Winnie the Pooh sweatshirts, Mickey ear hats, etc. So we're quietly eating our food, and my stepdad gets back from the bathroom and says he bumped into some nice old guy that complimented him on something. He resumes eating, and after a while, aforementioned old guy passes us as he returns from the bathroom, and he stops to compliment us on our Disney pink lanyards and how he loves to see adults, stepdad, LOL, getting into the Disney spirit.
Aww.
That is nice. So the guy proceeds to talk to us about Disney secrets, where to get delicious barbecue chicken, etc. And I'm like, ooh, wasted dudes at Disney. Classic. But then the guy starts saying things that pique my interest as a full-fledged Disney expert. Like how he sat on the bulldozer that dug up Tom Sawyer's Island. Oh, wow. So this guy is involved in Disney.
Isn't that island shut down?
Yeah, I think it's that one, but it's like temporarily. It's not really like they still do shows there, but I don't think you can go there. But it might have been temporary. I don't totally know. Disney experts, let us know in the chat. I know we've got some here. I know we've got them. And he says how to get free food and milkshakes. What? Tell me.
Wait, it says Discovery Island.
Discovery
Island in Florida.
Oh,
in
yes.
Florida.
The Disney World one where like some really weird stuff happened at it.
Oh.
A couple people died. It shut down from the public and some people
What?
try to get on it and they're like, no, you can't do it.
God, what happened there?
There is a really nice video essay on it.
What? I need to find that out. Okay, wait. So this guy is telling us about how he dug up Tom Sawyer's Island and how to get free food and milkshakes and something about Uncle Walt. Hello? I furiously begin shedding my layers as the restaurant got 20 degrees warmer. Who was this guy?
You start stripping for him?
He's got all these Disney layers. So he's taking them off because he's sweating. Because we got a Walt family line.
She's stripping.
She's, I don't know, this person.
Lock in.
I thought they said drunk dudes.
She thought they were drunk, but now she's like, who are you?
She's drunk. Eventually, my mom, who I don't think fully understood that this guy was probably a big Disney deal, asked him what his name was. Well, it was Donald Nixon Jr., nephew of Richard, Uncle Dick Nixon, and has a crazy effing past, if you'll look him up on Wikipedia. Long story short, this guy took a liking to us and got us a reservation at a super exclusive Club 33 at Disneyland and will do so for us every year until he passes away. Oh my
Yo,
gosh.
What?
Club 33 is super exclusive.
I don't know what that is.
It's like this secret restaurant basically in Disneyland. And I don't know how you get in, but I'm pretty sure it's just like really expensive. My mom's been there. She went with like some other Girl Scout moms, but like,
Oh, fun.
yeah, so they had fun, but I don't think you have to get invited. I think it's just like a good chunk of money. So they just had to save up for it.
Oh, I see.
But it's very special.
But anyone can get in.
I think so. If you can pay for it.
Mom has a lot of wild stories.
My mom's pretty cool. But that's crazy, especially since they go every year to Disneyland, that you can get into Club 33 guaranteed every year. That's insane. We went for the first time last month. It was a crazy experience. Crazy amazing, to clarify. And that is the best and wildest thing that has ever happened to me. I bet. That's insane. We do have another story.
This comes from Tuba Bacon. They say, more of a big coincidence than anything. First week of college, my junior year, sometime during the day, one day I lose the dongle on my laptop charger.
Not the dongle.
I look everywhere for it, can't find it anywhere. I get back to the room that night, and my roommate asks how my day was. I tell him about losing the dongle and looking everywhere. He gets this weird look on his face. He looks at me and says, "Was it black and about this long?"
Don't talk about my dongle like that. All right?
While holding his fingers apart. I tell him yes, but I figured he's just effing with me. He asked, did it have a yellow tip with it, like a little white stripe attached to it saying HP? I tell him yes, but I still figured he was effing with me. He looks at me and says, dude, I'm sorry, but when I was leaving the cafe this morning, I see this little black thing on the sidewalk. I pick it up and start looking at it. For some reason, I can't explain why I did it, but as I was passing it in the dumpster, I just blurted out, sucks for this guy, and throw it right in.
Oh, man. That's the realest answer ever. Oh, my gosh.
He insists he's not effing with me, so we put on some crappy clothes and went to the dumpster diving. Only took about 20 minutes to find it.
Well,
Of the 2,000 plus students that attended my university, the one person to find it, and like a douche, throw it away, was my roommate. But he's a real one. He
totally.
He went to go help you find it. That's, yeah.
Because that is also such a real thing of just like, it sucks for that random guy. That, like, I'm sure
Yeah.
we've all done
I-
something like that.
I feel that way every time I put a nail behind someone's tire.
See, that's a little more deliberate. A little more illegal, perhaps.
Well, people need to stop filling my pockets with nails.
Just like finding dollars in your pockets, you just find nails.
Mm-hmm.
Just rusty nails.
I got to put this down somewhere. That's a safe spot.
Got it. You know, it is a safe
When you
spot.
say nails, I think fingernails.
Anyways, Noob Star says, this happened back in my undergrad days on the day of an econ midterm. Because the lecture hall is so large and the students are about 300 in seating, the professor needs a microphone in order to speak to the class. He's in front of the class giving his whole speech about the exam, 50 questions, multiple choice. Make sure to write your name on the Scantron, turn it up here when you're done, etc. Finally, he bids us all good luck and leaves the lecture hall into his office, which is in the adjacent room. Well, he didn't realize that he left his microphone on, so while the class is, pretty freaking quiet during this exam, we all listen to the events unfold inside of his office. We hear the brief, muffled conversation he's having with the female teacher assistant of her class. Then the conversation stops, and it becomes painfully evident that they're having spicy sleep.
Oh my god!
The quiet moans of the TA are magnified on the speakers in the lecture hall. The entire class remains silent, no one wanting to be the first to make some kind of move. Finally, the professor yells out loudly, "Oh, F!" and the microphone abruptly shuts off. 20 minutes later, the professor walks out to the lecture hall as if nothing happened. He was fired a week later.
Yeah. Oh my god. That was so immediate, too. Like, all right, lecture's over. Go have your test. Text. Bam! Rips off his pants like a spicy dancer. Gets at it immediately. I mean, that's crazy.
He wasted no time.
No time.
You got to answer 50 questions. We got to get at it.
Yeah.
All right, we got about a good 20 minutes here.
We don't even have the time to take the microphone off. That's how fast he was going for it. That's crazy.
Skin Thigh says, met a pretty girl online. Meet her for coffee. And then it's my birthday. She demands to see my license. Confused, I comply. Turns out we have the same birthday.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Well, sure.
we kind of do.
Very close, yeah.
More chatting. Turns out she was a drum major in high school and competed against my ex-wife, who was a drum major in a school some 600 miles away, who also had competed against her ex-husband. Also, her ex-boyfriend was dating my ex-girlfriend, which is like the third time this has happened in the city of 1.3 million.
Oh my
The
God.
most implausible part is that we are still together almost 3 years later.
Wow. So it's just like out of 4 people, how many different combinations of relationships can we get out of this? and it happened.
That's weird.
That's insane.
Okay.
Also, why was she looking at your license though? I feel like she could just ask you.
First date. I didn't even show you my license yet. You don't know if I'm legal.
I am hoping that you are.
Ruskin says, I met a girl in an anime convention in Melbourne, Australia. We got on pretty well as friends. Chatted for a while on MSN. What is MSN? Come on, you know it.
Messenger.
There we go.
Messenger.
And then she decided to move to Ireland. We fell out of contact. About 3 months after she moved, I found the service that allows you to set up a crude MSS chatbot. You answer a whole heap of questions about yourself. Then you send your messenger away. The bot can hold a rudimentary conversation with anyone trying to speak to you. If someone does try to speak to you while you're away, a transcript is emailed to you. Bots can also chat with other bots, so you can test how well your bot responds to basic questions. One day, I'm getting a transcript in my inbox of chatting to a bot. Starts with, how are you? I'm good. What do you enjoy? I like stuff, yada yada. But a lot of the other person's bot phrases seem familiar. When I checked, the bot's location, Ireland. I messaged the bot's owner. Sam, is that you? Rudskin? What the F? Our bots had somehow randomly chosen each other out of the tens of thousands currently active on the site. She eventually moved back to Australia, and that random bot convo was the catalyst for us renewing our friendship.
Wow.
Huh.
Thanks to AI, friends can be friends again.
That's crazy. Also, Sofa King says, I demanded my first husband's license on our first date when he told me his birthday, because he told me his birthday was one day before mine. You couldn't just believe him?
I mean, I get it if it comes up in conversation. There was just one time that I was on a date and someone asked me for my license, and I was like, I went along with it because I was like, sure, I guess. But then later I was like, no, that was weird. After learning other things about him, you know? So that's how I feel about the license stuff. It's just a little.
It took me like a
just
year
a
before
little
I saw
odd.
yours.
Have you seen mine?
Yeah.
I do not like my picture on it.
My picture is the best thing I've ever taken.
Really?
And I renewed it. So it's actually when I was 21.
Oh, yeah?
And you
Nice.
could renew it because it was like during the pandemic and stuff. And so like you didn't have to like go in. You could just like renew it online. And so I did. And so my picture, it's still when I am 21. I'm literally 28 now. Like there's such a difference. But like I look so good in it. It's one of my best
Oh
pictures
my gosh.
ever.
Yeah, I'm going to need to see that later. There's that little guy. How old were you in yours?
I like 22.
See, I'm 15 and a half in mine.
Why have you not updated it?
Yeah, I haven't needed to. I ordered a new license, but I just ordered it when I was like 20. So also, because I wasn't 21 when my like first license expired, my license is still horizontal.
That's why they stop you at the airport all the time, because they're like,
Yeah,
who
exactly.
is this lady?
They're like, this lady, or at like casinos and stuff. They're like, she's underage or vertical or whatever it is.
Barbecue Obama says,
I'm sorry. Barbecue Obama? Is that what it said?
a few years ago, I made plans to see 9-inch Nails in Massachusetts on their final tour with a friend of mine, along with his 2 friends. We were from New York. On the trip, the MIA song Paper Planes comes on, and 3 of us start singing along, making the noises obnoxiously, which annoyed the 4th guy, Shane. He tells us that he hates the song, which ended up being a bad idea, because my friend found out that he purchased the single for that song, complete with 5 remixes later that day.
He says he hates it. and then he buys multiple versions of that song later. Is that right? Is that what I just hear?
Well, his friend found it. So Shane hates it, but then
I
Ben's
see.
like,
So now
oh,
we're
yeah.
gonna- Oh,
All right.
cool. Now I know what we're playing on repeat all the way home.
We headed to a town a couple of days early. There was plenty of annoying Shane with the song, along with making jokes about how maybe, if we ask nicely, Trent Razor will play at the concert. The day of the concert comes, and as the opening act, Street Sweeper Social Club plays their set. The singer announces, "This next song isn't on our album," and launches into a cover of, you guessed it, Paper Planes.
Stop it.
Took a few moments to sink in because I really couldn't believe that was actually happening. It was too perfect. Here we had been annoying him obnoxiously for the entire trip with this song, which the rest of us genuinely liked, for the record, only to have the opening act of the concert play it out of nowhere.
That is pretty funny. Take that, Shane. Hope you like the song now, Shane.
Take that in the butt, Shane.
I would have been so pissed if that happened. I would have been like, are you actually kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
What's your song you hate?
Actually, I hate the Havana, because people always say Savannah, and I'm like, don't.
Now we know what song to play all day, every day around
Stupid
Savannah.
song. It's so stupid.
What song do you hate, Riley?
I'm not going to tell anybody that.
Wow.
Wow.
Yurto Ast says, "It was my two roommates and myself driving to a music festival. The drive was a little over an hour, and we decided to smoke a bowl in the car about 15 minutes into the drive. Smart. I remember my brother telling me that a crap place to put any paraphernalia is the glove department. And because our bags are in the trunk, I decided to put the devil's lettuce in the center compartment between the driver and the passenger seats. All is fine and dandy until we get into town and the festival is taking place. Me, not knowing the roads very well, was going the full speed and almost missed the turn for the road leading to the driveway. Sure enough, parked across the street is a police officer in a big black Chevy Suburban labeled K9 Unit. Oh, K9 Unit.
Oh, man.
At this point, I was crapping myself and contemplating how prison life would be. This New York State, so the most I'd get for the devil's lettuce is a $100 fine for less than 25 grams. But the bowl with the residue would result in a maximum fine of 5 years IIRC.
Oh, my God.
The officer does his routine. Do you know why I pulled you over? Did I take that corner a bit too quickly? Yes, you did, son. License or registration. I gave the officer my license, but I checked in my glove department, and lucky me, no registration.
Oh, no. Oh,
I knew
no.
it wasn't in the glove box because I had just been pulled over for speeding a week earlier. In fact, I had no effing clue where it was. The officer prompts me to check the center compartment for it. Crap. Using a quick mime trick, I rested my elbow and arm over the top of the well and told him that it doesn't open. He asked why not. I proceeded to press the button and give a good impression that the compartment was stuck in the closed position, and he bought it.
Wow.
After 5 more minutes of questioning and running my license, he let me go with the warning to drive slower. Went safely to the festival, scared crapless with an amazing story.
Oh, my gosh.
And that is it for all of our no effing way stories.
Wow. You really mimed your way out of that one. See, Mom? Becoming a mime is important and useful for this world. See? Oh, my gosh.
Okay, here's a story about I do not like cops because I always hate getting pulled over. I was getting a car for myself, and I asked my grandma to drive me over to take my car. And my mom was like, don't do that. That's your new car, because I just bought a car. And they're like, don't do that. You need to clean your car first and then go and sell it. Then you can go get your new car. I went and got my new car anyways with my brother. And I was going to have my brother drive me there. He doesn't have a license. He's 15. But I'm glad it didn't. So my grandma takes me over. We drop off. And then we're headed back. As we're headed back, there's a police checkpoint.
Oh.
4 things happen. Number 1, I don't have my seatbelt on. Number 2, I don't have a license plate on the back of it. Number 3, I don't have insurance for the car. And number 4, I don't have a registration for this car.
Oh, my God. So it's just all kinds of illegal.
4 things. I have to go to court. Guess how much money I had to pay?
Keon guessed $5. Gosh, I don't know. Was it like $1,000?
So my grandma is a magistrate of this county. And I knew the only guy that could get me out of it, which was Danny. Hit up Danny. I said, hey, is there anything else you can do for me or help me out? He's like, yeah, I can. Just tell him that I'll take care of you. Got out of the insurance, got out of the license plate,
Wow.
got out of the registration. Couldn't get out of the seatbelt thing,
Okay.
but they moved it from a front seatbelt to a back seat one and only had to pay $10.
Wow.
so close.
You were close.
Kian was close.
You were close.
Oh my gosh.
And I got a free lunch.
Oh
And I
wow.
was still getting paid working at the sawmill because I had to leave during the sawmill part.
Where'd you get a free
So
lunch
I
from?
got $20. My grandma took me to lunch after that.
That's so funny.
I was 16, 17.
Okay. Question. When you were going to this checkpoint, how many people were in front of you before you stopped?
It was like at a hill.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't even see.
And you didn't think to put on your seatbelt before
No,
then?
it happened so fast.
Okay.
Like they just started it, like the 2 cars ahead of me whenever it started. Like,
I see.
yeah.
Got it.
But guys,
Be careful, guys.
be careful. That's the end of that story. I hope you guys enjoyed those. If you have any similar ones, please put them down in the comments. We would love to listen to them and read them. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you. And
See you tomorrow. Yo, 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 don't leave yet. Please don't exit out of this video. We have more stories for you, and I know you got more stuff to do, so hang around.
My sister-in-law is coming to my wedding, but I didn't invite her.
That's awkward.
That's awkward. Apologies in advance for the paragraphs. Just looking for a gut check here to see if I'm being a bridezilla and get perspective on how best to navigate the situation. I, 31 female, am marrying James, 36 male, next year. His brother Matt, 34 male, has been married to Paula, 34 female, since before I met James. By the way, this comes from Coffee Now Please on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So Paula is very nice and we get along well when I see her, which is once a year for the holidays as we live across the country from James's brother's sister-in-law and her parents. But we aren't close for the rest of the year. We have very different interests and lives and just don't really keep in touch. We FaceTime James's family every Sunday when Matt and Paula and my future father-in-law and mother-in-law all get together for dinner. And Paula will usually say hi and then go back to whatever she's doing. Paula and I exchange happy birthday texts on our birthdays, and occasionally she'll heart react to a photo in the family group chat. But that's about the extent of our relationship. This is all completely okay with me. I don't feel the need to force a closeness that isn't there. And as I said, we all get along great when we go home for the holidays. I'm in the middle of planning my bachelorette trip. We're not doing a bridal party or groomsmen, and I invited 6 close friends and my family members who I've known between 8 years and my entire life. I mentioned something about the trip on the last FaceTime with James's family, and everyone was like, that sounds like it'll be fun, and we moved on. And I thought nothing of it. But the next morning, James was chatting with Matt, who said in a very offhand way, oh, Paula wanted to know if OP could send her the details for the Bachelorette so she can get her flights and stuff. James was taken very off guard and was like, I'll talk to her. And Matt was like, great, thanks. And then they changed the subject. I am so baffled by this. Paula has never once given me an indication that she believes we are or wants us to be any closer than we are. We hang out once a year during the holidays. I can't remember the last time she asked me a question about myself. She didn't even text me when my dog passed away. And again, all of this is completely fine with me. I don't need my fiance's brother's wife, who lives in a time zone away, to be my best friend. But it truly never occurred to me that she would even want to be invited. If Paula were the one getting married, I would never in a million years expect to be invited to her bachelorette, let alone assume I was invited. This all happened on Sunday and Monday, and I still just don't know how to respond to this, especially because Paula didn't reach out to me directly. Here's the part where I'm worried I'm being an a-hole. The path of least resistance would, of course, be to invite Paula, but I just don't wanna. The friends and family who are coming to my bachelorette all have met each other already and mesh well and are extremely important to me. I'm the only person in this group chat who Paula has met, and we have such a surface level relationship that I feel we barely know each other. The trip is going to involve a lot of hiking and outdoorsy stuff in a location that's very special and nostalgic to me. Paula prefers to stay indoors and has skipped the family's annual Christmas walk every year that I've known her. Ooh.
You can't skip that.
Come on, man.
What
That's
is this?
family bonding right there.
Yeah.
I don't think she would have had a lot of fun, and I also don't want to be worried about her experience the whole time. And beyond all of that, there is a part of me that really resists capitulating to the expectations of someone who has not even told me directly that she would like to come. I would never even dream of inviting myself to someone's bachelorette, let alone doing so via a game of telephone. We're heading to James's family for the holidays next week, and I'm so anxious and truly don't know how to handle this. I really don't want to hurt Paula's feelings, but I want to be surrounded by my closest friends and family at my bachelorette, and we just don't have that kind of relationship. Do I just leave it alone and wait for Paula to bring it up? Or do I proactively sit her down and talk through it? Do I just get over myself and invite her? There are some comments, but what would your answer be?
I don't know. Yeah.
I usually go the route of like leave it alone until someone else brings it up, and then I'll be like, hey, and I'll be like, hey, like now that you mention it, like I'm sorry, like it's just kind of meant to be, or like I didn't think you would want to come because I know we aren't that close.
Yeah. I think putting it on her would be the best move.
Right. Like, yeah, like I didn't initially invite you because like I didn't think that you would want to come. And I didn't think that like because we aren't that close and we're doing a lot of outdoorsy things and I didn't think you liked that stuff.
Yeah.
But let me know if that's something you want to do.
Didn't seem like something you'd be interested in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't seem like this is something you'd be interested in.
Yeah.
And I already got tickets for everyone else.
We've already booked it. There's not an extra bed.
Already booked it.
Unfortunately. So sorry. There you go. There you go. I think that's a perfect way to do it. Comment number 1 says, I don't think you're being a jerk. I also don't think she's being a jerk. I think it's very sweet that she wants to be included or would assume that she would be. It may be a very innocent misunderstanding based on how it was talked about and where audio may have dropped on a call. Take the win in knowing that you have a sister-in-law who would literally get on an airplane to come celebrate you. That said, address this head on and be kind. And do not make it sound like you're doing a favor by not inviting her. That's our idea. That's what we were thinking.
That's a non-confrontational thing to do.
Yeah, that's our vibe.
But out of all the events in your life, this is probably the one that she would want to go to. So
reach out and say, hey, James mentioned you were looking for a bachelorette details for travel plans. I'm really sorry. I think we had a misunderstanding. This feels awkward to address, but my bachelorette is just me and some of my oldest friends. I hope you understand. It means a lot that you'll be willing to join, and I'm so lucky to be marrying into this family. I can't wait to see you at Christmas and the wedding whenever you'll see her next. That sounds solid. Makes me nervous because of confrontation, but it's something you gotta do. OP responds, thank you. This is such helpful framing. I think this is a really good approach, and I will try it. I'm going full panic mode. I somehow did not even think about the possibility of this just being a misunderstanding. On the call, my father-in-law said something about a kayaking trip he took last year, and I said something like, oh, we just planned a kayaking day in the place as part of my batch. And everyone was like, oh, that'll be fun, and the conversation moved on. It was truly so mundane that I was really taken off guard the next day, LOL. That makes sense, honestly. I do think that it was just a misunderstanding, and she's probably a little nervous about it, which why she didn't contact OP directly. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
Because you wouldn't want to make it awkward for future family events. So update, thank you to everyone who weighed in on my post. I appreciate all the advice and thoughts, even from those of you who called me an a-hole and or privately messaged me to tell me to basically bully Paula until she uninvited herself. I love the internet. It's so funny. I will not be doing that, but thank you so much. After posting yesterday, I sat with my feelings and tried to figure out why I was having such a strong, I do not want to invite her response, given that we have always gotten along fine when we see each other. I came to the conclusion that the thing that was really bothering me was the indirectness of it all. I couldn't understand why Paula didn't just reach out to me herself, and it made me worry that I had done something to make her feel like she couldn't. But I also decided that it was more important for her to feel included than for me to have the perfect close-knit group trip I had been envisioning. Like everyone pointed out, it's just one weekend and she will presumably be in my life forever. So I called her yesterday evening, the first time either of us has ever called each other, LOL. And the convo went like this. Hi, Paula. I'm about to send over all the Bachelorette info. I'm excited that you'll be there. I just wanted to check in, though, and make sure that you know that you can totally reach out to me about things like this going forward. I hope I haven't done or said anything to make you feel like you can't. And if I have, I'd love for us to talk it through. Paula has a long, confused silence. That's really nice of you, but I think there's been a miscommunication or something. I hadn't been planning on coming to your Bachelorette. Me, also confused. Oh, okay. I just thought since Matt asked me to send you the info. Paula, what? Whoa, this is bringing in completely new drama. Oh my goodness.
Wait, what?
Oh my goodness. Me, confusion intensifies. Paula, I'm going to talk to him really quick. Let me call you back. 10 very stressful minutes later, Paula called me back and basically said that Matt got it in his head about worrying that Paula was feeling hurt and left out, which she was not. She was like, no offense, this trip sounds like my worst nightmare, LOL. And he had the galaxy brain idea to like parent trap us into thinking that Paula was supposed to come on this trip instead of talking to either of us. That is very confusing.
So it was all Matt's fault.
All Matt's fault. Oh my goodness.
What the heck?
And something that's all our fault is that we have more long episodes just like this one with stories just like these on all your favorite podcast apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever you so choose. Pick your poison and we'll be there. Just search, okay, story time. And we got you.
Boom.
We got you.
Boom.
But that's crazy.
Shoot.
That's all Matt's fault. Is so much miscommunication and so much non-confrontational stuff
Why do
happening
he want this
here.
to work out? He's probably hoping for a boys' day. He's like, okay, so if Life leaves, and then she goes there, then I go out here.
He's just planning a really big surprise party for Paula.
Probably.
Wants her to get out of town.
Oh, that'd be so funny.
That would be hilarious. We get another story. My sister-in-law ruined my surprise party for my girlfriend. That's what we're gonna get. But there is more to the stories. Let's see. That door is so scary. I jumped. The end result is that Paula has no desire to come to the Bachelorette and never did in the first place. Matt has apologized, and this all encompasses the most in-depth conversation about our feelings that we have ever had with each other. Growth. Gotta love a stoic Midwestern family. Paula and I are also going to get dinner over the holidays, which will be nice and hopefully an opportunity for us to get to know each other better. Thanks again to everyone who gave their input, and sorry if you were hoping for a more dramatic update. And that is the end of the story.
Right.
That is so funny. I'm glad she responded in that way then.
Yeah.
So she wasn't like, I actually don't want you there. And so Paula wasn't like, okay, I don't want to be there, but also why don't you want me there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That would be so bad. But
I was thinking Matt was probably going to try and get with one of the girls. I was like, oh, you want the info so we could pull up and
so he can go there.
so we can.
The plane tickets are for him instead of Paula.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
At the Bachelor, dude, that'd be
That's
wild.
funny. That's funny, Matt.
Yeah,
Oh, Matt, just
that's
trying
so funny.
to make
Ah,
family bonds happen.
oh, how sweet, how naive.
Yeah. And
But that's the end of that story.
I'm walking my ex-daughter-in-law down the aisle at her wedding. My son was furious. You must hate your son. You have got to hate your son to do
The
that.
son has to hate you.
Well, yeah, one or the other.
Yeah.
That's true. I, 56 female, have 2 children. Bob, 30 male, and Alice, 27 female. This is about Bob. He used to be married to my daughter-in-law, Ruth, 28 female. That is until 5 years ago, Ruth discovered that Bob was cheating on her while she was pregnant with my granddaughter.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, Bob sucks.
Yeah.
By the way, this comes from Throwaway Daughter-in-Law, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, I was really disappointed in my son. I taught him better than this. I am a single mom. My husband fell into eternal sleep years ago, and I remarried only after my kids were in their late teens. I know for sure my late husband wouldn't approve of Bob's cheating. So, long story short, Bob, Ruth, and I had a fight. I told him I was very disappointed in him. How could he do this to his own wife? Bob yelled at me and said that I'm his mother, not Ruth, so I should be taking his side. I will not support his infidelity under any circumstances. My daughter also thinks that her brother is wrong, but she's neutral about it. Bob was mad and left the house. I only saw him at the divorce hearings. I left him messages that if he wants to talk, I would be open to talk, but he didn't respond to my messages. Ruth was an orphan. She didn't have anyone else, so she saw me as her mother. Even after the divorce, she would visit me and bring me some gifts like flowers or cookies. I never stopped her. Ruth also never stopped calling me mom, even after her divorce. I also loved spending time with her and my granddaughter, and also a little bit of a different situation because the granddaughter still is in the picture. About 3 years ago, I set up Ruth with my friend Patty's son, John. Patty and I have been close friends since childhood. She knew Ruth really well and loved her too. It was Patty's idea to set her son up with my daughter-in-law. Ruth and John totally hit it off. John was also a good father figure to her daughter. Recently, John and Ruth got married. Wow. Oh my. Ruth wanted me to be there to walk her down the aisle. She told me she walked down the aisle alone when she was married to my son. Oh, but now she wants me to walk her down. I was happy about it, so I said yes.
That's so sweet.
That's really lovely. The news reached my son. He called me to again yell at me that what I'm doing is wrong. I shouldn't be talking to Ruth because she and him are divorced. He forbade me to go. I told him he was being irrational. Even if he's divorced, that doesn't mean I have to cut off Ruth. I reminded him that it was his poor choice that led him to this. I didn't listen to my son and went to the wedding anyway. My son got the news and was pissed. He kept cursing me that I'm a deadbeat mom who left her own son for an oar. He called me a hypocrite that I didn't go to his wedding. He married his mistress, but was gallivanting at Ruth's wedding.
Dang.
My husband is with me, but he says my son is a point. But my daughter says otherwise. Was I wrong to go to her wedding? And there is an update. I think it's messy. But also, again, this isn't just a girlfriend. This isn't like they have a tie. The granddaughter,
Right.
I think, is really integral to this story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's like you can't just cut them off completely.
Yeah. I
And also,
agree.
Bob sucks.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's definitely not wrong for her to go to Ruth's wedding. I think it might be a little wrong for her not to go to her son's wedding.
Yeah.
You know
I think
what
that,
I mean?
yeah.
Because it's like, even if it's like, yeah, he cheated and then he's marrying the mistress or whatever, like crazy situation.
Still your
not
son.
good on his point, on his behalf, but at the same time, I feel like it's the kind of thing where you have to show up and just be like,
Yeah, I think so.
like, yay,
I think
It's
that's
easier
fair, especially because it seems like you did want to have a relationship with him. Yeah, I think fine to go to her wedding. Should have gone to his wedding.
Yeah.
Update. First of all, thank you for your comments. Although I got some hate comments calling me a bad mom and a failure, it was nice to see people supporting me. It gave me strength to know I was not making a bad decision. So now on to the update. My son emailed me and said he wants to talk to me. I thought I should have a long conversation with him, but I made some ground rules. He is not allowed to criticize or call anyone any names like the last time, and will be civil when I'm talking. He agreed. He came to my house yesterday during noon. My husband was off to work and my daughter was in her room. He sat down and there were moments of awkward silence. He asked me how I was and we had small talk. I asked him about his wife, and that's when he started to cry. Not ugly crying, just a few tears. I can tell he's not doing well. I sat beside him and told him he can tell me. He tells me everything. He tells me that he's sorry for how he reacted. He understands why I might be ashamed of him. He later tells me his marriage is not going well, that his wife is no way near as good as Ruth was. Too little, too late, buddy.
Feeling regret, sir. Ooh.
Ruth took care of all of his needs and loved him, yet he treated Ruth like trash. He is constantly fighting with his new wife. He knew he effed up a lot. He learned that last time he visited his daughter and she kept referring John as her dad. Bob tried to make her say the word dad and she screamed at him by saying, "You're not my dad." He saw how much happier Ruth was with another man and he realized what he had lost. I asked him, would you have missed Ruth if your wife did those same things for you like Ruth did? He was silent. I further told him it seems to me that he only kept Ruth in his life because he used her to fulfill his needs.
Ooh.
Great point.
That's an amazing question.
You're doing great.
Wow.
I explained to him about my relationship with his father. We were with each other not because I fulfilled his needs. We were with each other because we loved each other. And that love didn't stop when one person was at the most vulnerable and weak. But he, my son, left Ruth when she was vulnerable and needed him the most. Again, he left her when she was pregnant.
She was pregnant. Yeah.
His needs were fulfilled when Ruth was just a housewife working a small job, but as soon as she had no need, he discarded her. It really hit him hard as he was sobbing. He says that he knows he was a crappy person, but he was manipulated by that bee. He said that about his wife. Dude, you haven't learned anything.
Dude.
You're not taking responsibility. You weren't manipulated.
On.
You went willingly.
Yeah.
You cheated on your wife willingly. You're an adult.
Yeah.
Take ownership for your actions.
Right.
And also calling your wife a bee? To be honest, I lost my cool and yelled he should stop blaming other people for his mistakes.
Oh,
You're doing great. It was his decision to cheat. It was his decision to leave Ruth. It was his decision to abandon his daughter. He cannot run away from his responsibilities and wonder why nobody is taking his side. Moreover, he hasn't learned anything from his mistakes because he is still calling his wife vile names. She just repeated what I said, and I agree.
Absolutely.
This is the same girl he claimed is better than Ruth.
Mm-hmm.
He had a choice not to cheat. He could have pushed her away when she tried to seduce him, but he didn't, because in his mind, he made this fantasy that Ruth doesn't care about him because all she ever wanted was to complete her education. I raised him better than this. He is not just insulting my upbringing, he is also insulting his own father. And he will only see suffering in his life unless he takes full accountability of his actions. So true.
True.
He told me he knows I was disappointed at him and he wants to make things right. He is trapped in a bad marriage because God is punishing him for how he treated his daughter and ex-wife. I told him if he wants to be a good man, he should start by apologizing to Ruth and become cordial with his daughter. I also gave him a reality check that his daughter already sees John as her dad, so I have doubts she would start calling him dad anytime soon, but he should at least try. I told him to apologize to his sister as well. If he is really miserable in his marriage, he should get a divorce or try counseling. Whatever decision he makes, I will support him, but that does not mean I will forgive his wife because she has also done Ruth wrong. Unless she makes an apology to Ruth, I don't think I can see her as a decent person.
Mm-hmm.
Understandably so. And also, I think you need to be like, dude, you need like the only course of action here is work things out with your wife or divorce her. Don't like say, oh, it's not working and then go freaking cheat on her. Lastly, I told him that even though I am very much disappointed in him, I still love him, which, yeah.
There you go.
I will always guide him to what is right. He will always be my son, but this is his chance to be a better man. I believe in second chances. This time, I hope he cleans up his act. I am proud of him that he acknowledges his wrongdoings. And there is an update.
Wow.
Great, really great. Honestly, I think OP's doing a great job.
A great job.
Like, I feel like it'd be really hard. I haven't been in this situation, but I've seen like friends, siblings or stuff, like really, like I know really cool parents.
Yeah.
Who are just like amazing people and
Yeah.
like, you know, cool single moms and stuff.
Right.
With like, I remember like one of the single moms had like this son who was, you know, younger.
Yeah.
It's just like, he was like, really going into that kind of, not alt right, but like,
man,
yeah,
kinda.
alpha man pipeline. And you could see the descent. I'm like, what is happening? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like as a parent, how do you
Right.
handle when your kids are becoming their own person and they make
Yeah.
mistakes? And sometimes they make
Right.
really awful mistakes. I'm like, how do you handle that?
Exactly. I think OP is definitely handling it well.
Really well,
Like
yeah.
not just like being like, you should have done this, you should have done that.
No,
Being
it's
like,
like-
okay, like how do you feel about this?
Mhm.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
What are you thinking right now?
Yeah. And I think
Going
it
full
takes
therapist.
I think it takes a lot of kind of maturity
Mm-hmm.
to be so angry at someone
Yeah.
and still give advice
Yeah.
and still say like, you know what, I love you,
Right.
but I'm just really disappointed in you
right.
and I want you to do better. Update 2. Hello, folks. Thanks for showing me a lot of love and support. I really am overwhelmed with it. It has been a month since my last post. Things are fine now. I will be giving updates from r/marriage post too. Well, first of all, my daughter moved out of my house. She was living with us along with her fiance to save money to buy their own place. I am happy for her. The house just feels empty without her, but I will get over it. About my post on marriage subreddit, I talked to my husband about my feelings towards my late husband. He was surprisingly fine. He told me he understands that I miss him. Sometimes he misses his eternal sleep wife too. He still keeps a picture of her with him. I don't mind it. He further told me that the pain we both went through is something no one would understand, and he doesn't feel like I'm betraying him by missing my eternal sleep husband. He was my family, and it is normal to miss family. I am glad I had this talk with him. I fell in love with him even more. What a lovely side note.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, they both deeply understand this.
Yeah.
Ruth and John are doing just fine. She announced that they're expecting a child together. And
Yay.
Ruth asked me to be the godmother.
Yay.
I am really overwhelmed and happy for them. Though I still don't know whether I should be her kid's godmother or not. Now, on to my son. He has decided to separate from his wife. I guess his marriage has problems and he's trying to sort it out on his own. He's in therapy. I support him in his journey. By the way, you can support us by listening to full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left. Do you have any final thoughts?
I mean, it sounds like we got some happy updates.
I honestly think, based off like how horrible this kind of started and all the mistakes that happened, just really on the best possible path forward.
Oh, yeah.
Like everyone's really going on a great path.
Just a great incline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things between my granddaughter and him are still a bit sour, but I am helping as a middleman. He talked to Ruth about changing custody, but she said no, because given how he has treated her in the past couple of years, she doesn't trust him. I know Bob is sad, but I assured him he shouldn't give up now. He should still fulfill his duty as a dad. He meets my granddaughter at my house. Right now, they're playing snakes and ladders in my living room. My son has been really trying to be a better version of himself, and I support that. I hope in future things will improve for him. Thank you so much for helping a mother out here. I know if I ever have any issues I cannot solve, I can always count on the kind people of Reddit. Amazing. You don't always get kind people of Reddit, so it's good to see.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to see a story where you do.
What a happy ending to that.
And I think on that, like a final point of, I totally understand why Ruth would not want to give him custody.
Yeah.
But I think just like on OP's part of just reminding him, hey, the way that you get that custody, that you prove to Ruth that you are a safe person for your daughter to be around is by showing up.
Yeah.
Is by continuing to be there for your daughter.
Absolutely.
Even though you don't have that custody,
Right.
like doing whatever you can do to prove that you are a good dad.
Right. Because then it's just, at that point, it's like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Sure.
You know, it's like that. Like if you don't even try to not be like a deadbeat or whatever, then
Nothing's gonna
then
change.
you will be, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Like don't just give up because you're getting pushback.
Exactly.
Show that you can be there.
Exactly.
But that is the end of that story.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. My problematic mother-in-law refuses to leave me alone, so I filed a restraining order.
Get her out of your life
Boom, boom,
legally.
Hi, I am a 24-year-old woman, and I have a 25-year-old husband. His mother, let's call her Helen, moved in with him and I late 2023 in November. My husband, let's call him Gabe, invited her in after his father fell into eternal sleep in a bad car accident.
Oh.
No. And at first, I'm very supportive. But that changed 3 months into her living with us.
Uh-oh.
By the way, this comes from Individual Thinker 15. And if you want to submit your own stories, just go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. We'll give our best advice on it for
Only
you.
the best.
So, things to know. Helen always made comments about my upbringing. I'm not from the richest of families. She doesn't like me because of it and always viewed me as not enough for Gabe. I'm a quiet person until I reach my breaking point. It's not that I won't stand up for myself, but I pick my battles. 3, Helen really believes in the trad wife lifestyle. She's very extreme about it. I am not a trad wife woman. I work with a nonprofit organization which has me doing long hours and not making dinner for Gabe and her when I get home. Gabe knows and is fine with that. Another point is that Gabe travels for his job. Gabe and I are an interracial couple. He is white or Russian, and his mother always reminds me. And I'm a black woman.
Ooh, so is she racist?
Looking like it. It's looking like it. Ooh, no. In February, my mother-in-law, after living with us for 3 months, began making comments about how I upkeep our house. Oh, whoa, the dishes are not done. Or, is it me? Or is it pretty dusty in this room? Do you dust often, OP? I feel like I don't see you doing that.
I hate how she's bringing this up too. It's not like, you need to dust. It's like, wow, it's getting pretty dirty in this room.
Isn't it?
Yeah. What are you? You're not even. Presumably, I don't think she's paying rent. Like, what are you doing to help around the house, Mom?
Exactly. Just mooching.
Just making complaints.
These are just a couple of examples. I'd like to note she says these things after a 14-hour shift at work as I sit down. But that's not the worst thing. She makes comments about how I probably don't know what I'm doing when I cook or clean because I'm used to the filth.
So that's called racism.
What about that? What about that, mother-in-law?
What about that?
Finally, I had enough when Gabe came home after a 2-week business trip, and we had a birthday celebration for him, like a surprise party, which Helen insisted on, even though I said he'd probably be tired after flying for hours. But we did it, and it was almost a success until Helen said that the food was okay, but she doesn't blame me. I was pissed. She said it so loud and with a room full of people. Friends and family, they all look over confused, and I just put the plates and utensils and walk outside.
Yeah.
At this point, she'd been nitpicky about a lot that day, saying rude things, and this is my breaking point. Anyway, I walk outside and Gabe follows, and we talk, and I tell him what's been going on while he's been away. He gets upset about how Helen's been treating me, and then we talk about why I haven't told him all of this. So we talk and then go back inside because of the party and then say goodbye to our guests. After everyone has left, Gabe tells Helen that we need to talk. Gabe begins to tell his mom that how he's been treating me isn't okay. And she says, and I quote, "I'm your mother." How could you say that?
Could you say that to your poor mother? Your poor ailing mother.
She might not have an accent, but they mentioned Russian.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm just sitting here and letting my man take care of this. But then she says how I'm not doing my job as his wife. I mean, look at her. That's what she says. And now I'm upset and thinking about how going to jail for unaliving may not be the worst option.
Yeah, sounds like a real joy.
But instead, I blurt out, you know what? I work hard for where I am today, and I do my best, and it's enough for Gabe. No one asked for your opinion, and I don't know what's happened to you for you to dislike me this much, but your views on me and Gabe's relationship can be kept to yourself, and you can leave my house with them too.
Boom! Mic drop!
Boom!
Mic
Whoa!
drop!
I stood my butt up and walked upstairs to my bedroom away from her mean mugging.
Hell yeah.
But did I take it too far? Am I the a-hole for punting my mother-in-law out of the house and her issues?
Honestly,
it's an update, but what would you say?
You didn't take it far enough.
Oh,
You didn't take it far enough.
What should she say? How far should she take it?
I think after a month of this, I'd be like, oh my, husband, you need to tell your mom to leave because I hate her.
I support OP.
I support OP.
I mean, you know, things could always be said nicer, but she's been giving you a lot of crap.
You've been giving you a whole lot of crap.
Yeah. And you're not name calling or anything like that. You're just saying like, I don't know what your problem is with me, man.
Yeah,
I work
what's
hard
your
and your
problem
son
with
loves
me?
me. That's all you said.
That's how you said.
That's all I said, man.
The truth.
But now for the update.
Woo.
First, I want to say thanks to people who commented and gave me their feedback. I'm new to this app, so I'm not sure how long I'm supposed to wait until you give an update, but some of you asked for it, so I'll give. Firstly, I know it may sound crazy, but I did put up with her BS for a long time because I was trying to be respectful, and every time I brought it up to my mom, she said that she was grieving or whatever. And she would get over herself eventually. Also, yes, Gabe and I talked after I went upstairs, and Helen did get her and her things together and left. But that's not even the craziest part. Helen tried to fight me. What?
Oh my goodness, Helen.
What?
Helen.
Ding, ding,
Helen.
ding. Put him in the ringer.
In this corner, we've got Helen.
Got Helen. And in that corner, we have OP. And the crowd goes wild. Whoa.
OP.
I kid you not, this grown old woman, she's in her late 40s. Sorry, that's not that old, but that's like funny to me too.
She's in her late 40s.
Late 40s.
Pretty young.
Yeah, right? I
Late
was
40s for a
the
25-year-old
70-year-old.
son. My parents are in their like late 50s to 60s.
But anyway, she tried to fight me. I went downstairs to try to make amends or at least act civil. And she kept rambling on about how I can't believe you treat me like this. And I knew you were good for nothing. Then I told her to leave and I called her an Uber and she just pounced. Got all up on me, dragging me to the floor. Oh my gosh. This is crazy.
She crazy.
I just have like a wrestling like announcer in my head.
I'm thinking of a little babushka with like one of those little like you know like the head
Me too.
like little scarves on it. Yeah.
But look, I am a 147-pound woman who has been going to my uncle's Krav Maga gym since I was a little girl. I pinned that woman down so fast, and then Gabe pulled me off.
Dang.
Oh,
She messed with the wrong person.
OP's taking over. I've never watched a wrestling match. I don't know.
I'm like trying to contribute. I'm like, I don't know. Like the only wrestling match I've kind of seen is the one in Spider-Man.
Gabe got both of us some ice. I yelled that she needed to leave, and Gabe took her to the dining room and got her some ice. I put on my shoes and left the house, and now I'm posting this. I didn't go home and called Gabe and told him that I'm staying at my sister's house. The heck do I do now? And there is another update, but wow.
Ooh.
She's writing this update post wrestling match.
Yeah, she's got like a cut on her cheek. She's
Yeah.
bleeding a little bit.
Yeah.
She's like,
They're like
I've got
trying to dab
adrenaline.
her with
Yeah,
the
they're
thing.
like, get back in there. She's got a towel on her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's so,
She's like,
just
so like,
typing this out.
Come on, get back in the ring.
You got it.
Do it for us.
But hello, I've made 2 posts about this already. I'll link them below so y'all can catch up. Thank you to all who give feedback, and I'm so sorry if I called you old. I'm sure you're beautiful. Since the last time I posted, literally a few hours ago, I love the frequency of this update. A lot has happened, and I saw a want for an update. After I got attacked by my mother-in-law, I drove myself to my sister's house. My sister has a family of her own, but she is so supportive of me, and I even found out that when Helen insulted me at Gabe's birthday surprise party, she told Helen off while I went outside. Nice! Yay, sister! Yay! Anyway, my sister Jamie, for the purpose of this post, took me in, cleaned me up, and sat me down on her couch. Her husband took her kids out for ice cream so we could talk. So I told her everything. She said that we should just do the world a solid and get rid of my mother-in-law altogether.
Is this like, are you planning something here?
Are we witnessing like a,
Yeah.
should this be reported?
Is this premeditated?
Yeah. But after I got her off that train, we landed on calling Gabe. So I did. He said that he was sorry for how things turned out and that he blames himself for not noticing sooner. After a lot of back and forth, I told him I want Helen out of my house. He said, it isn't that simple. And I said, I'm not coming home until it gets simpler.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
I'm sorry. Isn't that simple?
Come on.
She attacked your wife.
Sounds so simple to me.
That's very simple.
I could hear this man sigh, and then I heard him say, get out, Mom.
Dang. Okay. Well, he made that simple real
That's
quick.
a crazy way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Probably could have done it maybe a little bit better, but you know what? I guess you wanted simple, so.
That's crazy.
I'm imagining she's sitting there
Yeah,
and
he's on
OP's like,
speakerphone.
she needs to leave. And he's
Yeah.
like, well, she's right here. It isn't that simple. And OP's like, make it simpler. And he's like,
Like, all right,
leave. Come on. Get.
Go on. And then I could hear her try to argue, but then he yells, get out. And he got back on the phone with me and said, I gotta call you back. I love you. And then he hung up.
So funny. Okay,
This is crazy.
I kind of understand why it wasn't that simple if she was literally right there.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. That was about an hour ago. My sister said that I should go home and see what the situation is. Instead, I called my landlord and followed some of y'all's suggestion and found out what would happen if I pulled out the lease just to know my options. Turns out, not great. So now my sister is on the phone with the non-emergency hotline and I'm telling them everything I know about the situation and getting a restraining order filed. I just hope that Gabe isn't mad about that. That might complicate things. There's another update, but that might complicate some future family things if she has a literal restraining order.
Yeah, but honestly, I would want a restraining order against this lady. She attacked her.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I would at least talk to Gabe about that
Yeah.
first, though.
Yeah.
That is a big step.
I think it is an absolutely warranted step,
Sure.
but I think that if you want to continue the relationship, you do have to just bring him up to speed.
Yeah, I agree. Update number 3. Let's just pick up where I left off. Yeah?
Heck yeah.
Let's do it. I called the non-emergency hotline and they told me that I needed to file a restraining order in person and that they'd send a patrol car to my address to make sure that there is nothing to worry about. So my sister had me sleep over at her house, and this morning Jamie and I went to the police station and filed a restraining order on my mother-in-law. I saw some of the comments and I realized that if I filed attack charges against her, it would help my restraining case, but I don't want to ruin my husband's relationship with his mom by doing that. I know that that's gracious considering all that's happened, but I think it's the right decision. Also, I found out that a restraining order might take a while, so we'll see how long that takes. Anyway, I left the station and sat in Jamie's car while I called Gabe. Gabe picked up and he asked about the patrol car that stopped by the house. I told him what I told y'all, and he said that we should talk. I agreed. We decided to meet at a bakery we used to go to when we first got together. Neutral, happier memories, hopefully good vibes. We met up. He hugged me when he saw me walk up to him, and then we sat down. We talked for about an hour and a few minutes. He started the conversation by apologizing again and telling me his side of the story. He said he was proud of how I handled the situation and that he was sorry about how he handled it. Wow, okay. He said that he was surprised by Helen and that he told her and that he and I needed space from her and that she isn't allowed back at our house again. Wow, that's nice. And he apologized for making it seem like we weren't a team. Then he asked about the restraining order and he said he wants to try and do this without the court first. But I told him that I already got the paperwork started, so I'm sticking to it. I told him I don't want him to never talk to his mom again, but that I won't be. Not until she apologizes and stops treating me the way she does. He agreed after a bit more conversation on what that means for him and our family and his family gatherings. By the way, we have so many more stories just like this, and what that means to you is that you can check it out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, any of your favorite podcast app. Search OK Storytime and you'll find full episodes with stories, again, just like this. Eventually, we finished the conversation and I asked if Helen was still at our house, and Gabe said that she was gone and at his brother's house until she can find someplace else. So we went home and I took a nap after the emotional roller coaster I went on today. And then I posted this. But I think this might be the end of the family drama. But I have a few questions.
And I have a few answers.
Should I drop the restraining order? Should I talk to Gabe about going forward on the attack charge? Oh, Gabe doesn't know about that.
Wait, you definitely should. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, you
Gabe-
already talked about the... Wait, what did you... They already talked about the restraining
We
order?
talked about the restraining order, but not the charges.
Absolutely talk about the attack charges.
Yeah,
That's that should have been in the same conversation.
Yeah, because it says, should I talk to Gabe about going forward on the charges? So maybe they did talk about it, but they didn't really come up with a solution.
Yeah, you should definitely have
Maybe.
a bigger conversation about that.
Another question is, and should Gabe and I go to counseling? My sister mentioned it, but I don't know. My mom was always against it. Maybe it was just one of those Black people don't do therapy things. And that's the end of the story. I have no comments on that part. Question was, should she drop the restraining order? I think just talk to Gabe about
Just
it.
have a conversation with Gabe. I really can't tell you it's like, do you feel safe? Because it seems like right now you don't feel safe around her, which is totally fair because she attacked you.
Yeah.
So keep the restraining order if you need to. Talk to Gabe. Figure out what you guys want to do going forward. Be a team.
Yeah, because the restraining order is big, you know, like it's one thing to kick her out of the house. That's totally fine. It's one thing to like cut contact with yourself and her, like, again, totally fine. But like eventually if you guys have kids or something like that, and then she shows up because she wants to like see the kids, and then you call the police because you have a restraining order on her. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like that complicates things.
I mean, I think but also like you don't have to call the, you know? Like, it's really up to OP, the level of kind of putting her foot down on this restraining order.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because it seems like if the mother came to OP's house and was like, I'm so sorry, OP would be pretty chill with that. I don't think she would really enforce the restraining order.
Right.
But if she comes to the house and is like, that's probably when.
Yeah, I wonder how that works, because like what if like she does come over, everything's fine. Okay, I'm not going to call a restraining order. You know though that I have a restraining order against you.
Yeah.
So like at any second I call the cops and you're out of here.
Yeah, I think
it
just keeps her in line.
Right, but then how it works, like what if she was there for like so long and then all of a sudden she says something and she's like, get her out of here. I don't want her here anymore. And it's like,
and then the SWAT team is just
yeah, literally. And then because like even if she doesn't like attack her, if she just says something like rude, she's like, I have a restraining order against this person and she's been in my house for so long now.
Yeah.
Like I wonder how that works with like the
I don't know.
Like, I don't know, man. But that's the end of the story. I do know that. And it's also the end of the episode.
Well, if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.